Hello, everyone. It feels like a long time since I've been live in here with you guys, and I have something pretty exciting to talk to you about today. Um, Last night we had a meeting planned to talk to Gary Douglas and me and a few of my X-Men friends from around the world to see what's possible with creation for the X-Men class, but X-Men in general. And I actually fell asleep putting my son to bed and I missed the meeting. But then Gary was actually talking about a little bit about this on the Undesired Truth, which is a telecall series that he's doing this morning. And one of the things that he said is in having these conversations, he realized that even a lot of us as X-Men, we still don't fully get the actual capacities that we have. And so many of us have been taught to function from conclusion and function from answer rather than functioning from the question that you can actually be as an X-Men. And so it was it was for me really interesting to hear him talk about that we don't even really know what being an X-Men is, and we don't get it. Because one of the things that he's always been with me with this, in terms of inviting me to a different possibility with it, is saying, you're not wrong, you're just different. And he's probably literally said that to me 15 times or more. And he's always talked about X-Men as being the mutation of the species to a higher order. And this is something that's really different, okay? Because most people look at people who have been labeled with disabilities as there's something wrong, there's something that needs to be fixed, and we need to find the right answer in order to get the best results for the individual. But what if it was not about that at all? What if it was actually about the abilities that you have available to you? What if it was about the mutation of the species that you are to a higher order, not a lesser order? And this is really this place of not being wrong, not being right, but just being different. And it's like actually looking at what's different about me. One of the things that I've been watching recently is a show called The Good Doctor, and it's based on a autistic young man who has trained to be a doctor and is on his residency for becoming a surgeon. So he's in a hospital environment. He's pretty, I would say he's functionally autistic, but it's definitely noticeable that he's autistic, and he has he has this amazing insight in that someone can describe something that's going on with their body, and it's like he gets the kind of like X-ray vision, sort of like through their skin and into their veins and the different systems that work in the body, and he can see how they all move and how they all correlate to each other. And so he's able to use that awareness to like diagnose things in a different way, because he kind of sees how things work together within the body in a different way. He can like track a source of pain to what it might be, I don't know, rubbing up against or something that's actually creating it. And it's amazing really to see, because he also has this ability to not be so emotionally attached to the outcome of something. So he can very much look from the place of what's actually going on here, and what are the options, what is required, and it's very different. It's not how most people function. But then socially, it's like he would have quite a lot of trouble, because he would tell people, for example, you're dying, you're dying of this, or you're dying of that, and this is not the way that most people would like to be talked to, and it's not the way that the other doctors and the people that are training him desire for him to communicate with the patients. And it's quite funny. It's good to watch, and it's really given me the awareness of how X-Men is not about, you know, there's us and them is X-Men. It's like everyone is different. And with being an X-Men, it is really looking at what is different about you. How do you function differently and how can you use that to your advantage? And in this series, they actually find ways to use, his name is Sean, Sean's abilities, and they nurture those abilities and they expand on those abilities, and then they also look at how they can create a different possibility with the social aspect. But the thing is that he's not normal and he doesn't fit in, and it's like no matter what they do, he's never really going to see the world from the same way that they do. He's always going to have this different point of view, this different way of um, like viewing the world. It's like he always requires more information so that he can have the full picture. He's never satisfied with just one part of the piece of the puzzle. Does that sound like anyone you might know? And the other thing is as well, like for me, I've been looking at this because one of the things with the conversation that like Gary was having with everyone about X-Men on the um, undesired truth call this morning was he was talking about the way that X-Men will pick up on everything that is unspoken, but then he also spoke about the undesired truth that people do not desire to receive. And that's something that shows up a lot for X-Men because as an X-Men, you have infinite perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving available to you. So you get to be aware of everything. Now, being aware of everything, it doesn't mean that everything that you're aware of is going to match anything in particular. It's like you might be aware of things that are, you know, something to do with the future or something to do with the past, and it's like you'll have this awareness simultaneously, so there is no obvious separation between that information being from the past, from the future, from the present, or, you know, related to someone else. It's just there, it's just available. And what I've noticed, like with myself, is that I've often made myself very wrong for receiving awareness about something that doesn't match what's going on in front of me, or doesn't match what someone is telling me, or doesn't match what someone is projecting as, you know, their image, or what, you know, what's going on in a certain situation. Because as X-Men, we have an energetic awareness. We're aware when it's not congruent with what's actually going on. But what I realized is that if you're willing to actually be in question, not in conclusion, it's like you can use all of that information to your advantage. You know, you can ask, what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how do I change it? And that's one of the ways that we can actually like address this undefined awareness that we have. And it got me excited as well because it's like so much of what I've made myself wrong for was actually this gift, this possibility, and this mutation of the species that other people might not have. Other people might not have access to that. So, what do you have access to that you've never claimed, owned, and acknowledged? That if you actually claimed, owned, and acknowledged it, would give you a level of power and potency that you have not been yet willing to experience. Everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I want to give you one more clearing. What energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities can me and my body be to be the infinite knowing, infinite being, infinite perceiving, and infinite receiving X-Men we truly be? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Amazing. So thank you guys for watching, and thanks for coming on again. And it's great to see you all again. And yeah, we have a 2-day class coming up, disabilities or abilities. It's in 2 days. It's going to be awesome. If you want to come, we'd love to have you. And yeah, lots of other classes coming up soon. So keep your eyes out. Those clearings are not written down anywhere, but you will be able to listen to the live. And if I can remember them, I'll post them in the comments. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you again here next week. And maybe I'll have a guest this time. Who knows? We'll see. It's always an adventure. Okay, thanks my friends. Hope you're having an awesome time wherever you are. Oh, and Gary Douglas, X-Men class, coming up very soon. If you are interested in X-Men, if you want to know more about it, from the man himself, do it. I think the class has just no title, and I think the tagline for it, or on the registration page, is like, you'll know. So you'll know if this class is for you or not. I know I'm going to be there, and I hope to see some of you there as well. Okay, adios amigos, bye.